Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Board Game Smorgasbord. I'm Tom Vassell.
I'm Z Garcia.
And I'm Joey Evans.
That's Joey Evans.
Yeah, it is. Or is it? I mean, it might not be.
I think it is.
Have you seen Mission Impossible 2?
What's this? Or Scooby-Doo. Either one. Same thing.
They are kind of the same thing, right? I mean, Tom Cruise is Shaggy.
He got sued by Scooby-Doo for Mission Impossible because they're like, we did that first.
Yeah, it was like 1 million Scooby snacks.
Is that Tom Cruise or Scooby?
That was both.
We want to welcome a new sponsor to the Dice Tower, Board Game Bliss. Board Game Bliss is a fantastic store based out of Canada, and they have all kinds of great games. And we're going to try to put links to many of their games into videos from now on as we review games. So you'll be able to go directly there and get the game if you would like. So we want to say thanks to Board Game Bliss. Also,
what are you looking for? What do you need?
my clipboard with all the names.
You looking for my yellow hat, too?
No, I wasn't looking for your yellow hat. What? We want to say thank you to some of our Kickstarter backers.
Hit him with it.
Owine and Felicia Gwynn.
One Kenobi.
Owine.
Oh, sorry.
Sarah Corcoran.
Sarah McLaughlin. I will
Sarah Corcoran.
remember you.
To Alex and Gabby. To Ryan from St. George, Utah. To Bex and Brian. To Thomas Badeau. To Unwi Chung, who is excuse me on BGG. To the Nian Polytechnic Tabletop Games Club.
I love that word, Polytechnic.
I like the music.
To Brent and Rebecca Coford. And to Inigo Montoya. So
I think he killed my father.
He should
wait,
prepare.
he didn't kill your father.
Whoa. Wait, you said that. It's like, he didn't kill your father. How was you? You
And
shouldn't.
he unmasks himself, and he's got 6 fingers on his face.
What? And he's the spooky
6
pirate.
fingers on his face.
That's.
We're mixing up a lot of stuff. All right. Well, anyhow, welcome to the show. We have, this is not the only thing we're doing live today. We're doing our top 10 games from 10 years ago, 2014, later today.
Good year. Good year.
It was indeed a
Michelin.
good year. You know what else was a good year this year? So stay tuned. We have lots of fun things coming up. Next week, we're doing 12 games of Christmas. And then a few weeks after that is the Winter Spectacular.
And it's going to be spectacular. I'm looking forward to it. We're going to bring in snow. It's going to be great.
We could bring in snow. We have the snowy.
It would melt really fast. Oh, we should bring in the snowy.
That fake snow, by
And
the
it
way.
would be so quiet in the room while we stream.
Not in the room.
We need more snow.
We could put it in the garage. Oh, wait.
All righty, let's jump into the news. All right. I know that many of you have been on pins and needles about this upcoming news, but
excited.
Taco Cat Goat Cheese Pizza has a Valentine's edition coming out.
Look, finally. It seems like Boop was getting all the holiday attention.
Oh, no.
And
they're
I
gonna
kept
go-
thinking, where's Taco Cat Cheese Flowers Pizza? When are they going to get some of this holiday attention? And here it is.
Finally.
Just in time for Valentine's, too. That's the next big holiday.
These are all Valentine foods, though.
Have you played this game?
Yes. It's actually, teens love it.
Yes, they do.
It's so, yeah.
It's one of my kids' favorite games. I don't get it.
I don't either. We have it because it's just not this one. This is the brand new one.
You don't have the Valentine's Day
We
one?
don't, no.
Yeah. Like, hey, happy Valentine's Day. Like, thanks.
It's like,
What is this game?
You're flipping cards over,
I love it already. Let's move on.
and you got to shout what it is or whatever.
And you
then
have
you
to
got to
slap
add
it.
them.
Oh, it's a slapping game.
I think most of these are slapping games.
Oh, that's good.
Let's look at something more interesting. We have
Doesn't get more
a
interesting.
game called A Place for All My Books,
I was wrong.
which also might be called Calyx. At some point, we'll show it. A Place for All My Books. There we go. This is from Alex Cutler and Michael Mihielsick. And they're using the keyword here, cozy, which is cozy to me nowadays just means money.
I agree.
I want some money, so I'm going to call my thing cozy.
It used to mean Takedo. And now it means everything else.
Yeah, that's true. There's a lot
Anyway,
of
you're
cozy
collecting, sorting, and organizing games, which I love that
Books.
that idea, that theme. I don't like that bottom. I don't like how the game looks so far. Like the cover's
No.
fine. The cover looks, it's a nice, cozy-esque cover. And then that bottom left looks,
Candyland.
it doesn't look good to me.
Like the colors, the very, very saturated green,
yeah,
that kind of
and
thing.
also that weird artwork doesn't match the background. Like the top left looks a little bit more, looks almost Flamecrafty.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then the bottom left is just, I don't know, just, again, maybe it will look better when I see the whole game laid out on the table.
Okay.
No.
So, anyway, that's coming out. It's a cooperative game.
It's by Smirk and Dagger.
Oh, no, sorry, it's a competitive game. Sorry.
It's Smirk and Dagger. That's who's putting it out.
Yes.
Is that what it says there?
Wow.
Yeah, Smirk and
Did
Dagger.
they give up on smirk and laughter, by the way, or is that
They
still a
did.
thing?
He said it was just confusing people.
Good.
Okay, so now it's under one. Okay.
All right, next we have Coral Gardens. This is a 2 to 4 player game from 3WS. And yeah, there's corals, and you are protecting and cultivating coral. This is the first
Is it
game ever
cozy?
about coral.
Is it cozy?
Z wants cozy. Is
It
it
doesn't,
cozy?
it's not using the word cozy.
Well, then it's not. Legally, it can't be if they don't use it.
It looks interesting.
It's very pretty.
It's got to stand out from all the other coral games that are out there.
What other coral games? There are no other coral games.
You're right. All right, Bullseye. I think this is kind of a cool cover, actually.
I like that. Very
That's a
retro.
neat way to put the title on. 25th Century. This is from Grace Kendall and Mike Belsol. What else do I know Grace Kendall from? She's done something I know. I'm going to look it up now.
Ebooks.
Yeah, why don't you go ahead and Google it?
Oh, we're not, what do you think she's done? Oh, she just did that Smug Owls game. That's what it was. That the party game sitting on your shelf.
What
I
is
just saw
Trick or
it.
Treat the Aftermath? Is that like? Is that like? Oh, I don't want to say. What is that?
It's a game where you and your friends are splitting the candy afterwards.
Oh, that's not that. I was thinking further
You were
after.
you were thinking another day. Later.
Yeah. Okay, that's what I was
Did
thinking.
you split candy when you were a kid?
No.
You got what?
Yeah.
You don't
Who
split
split
candy?
candy? I mean,
Oh, you didn't get enough? You didn't put effort into going
yeah. It's
out.
like we should have knocked down more houses. It's not my problem.
Yeah, I
That
agree.
is weird. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that a sibling thing, maybe?
I guess I had a
Oh,
sibling.
some parents got to put all your candy together and share. I would have been really bad.
We only get one costume today. We're only
That's-
cutting holes in one sheet.
You did?
We always split candy, yeah.
Serious? Oh,
We
wait.
did it because we have different tastes. So we
That's
have
the thing.
one pie
Oh,
and then
okay,
we
that's
go
true.
Okay.
That's how communism starts. If I'm going to get the same thing you're going to get, I do less work. And the world implodes. You fast forward 58 years. Castro! No, thank you.
It all started because
happened?
they didn't like Twizzlers. That's it.
Is that what it was?
It is.
I would definitely trade for Reese's peanut butter cups.
I would too.
No, then see, we couldn't even do it.
I know we couldn't go together.
Anyway, Bullseye.
Oh, it's a game.
We're really selling their other game.
It's 3 to 8 players, actually, and you're going to give clues about a word or phrase that will be guessed by the archer. Each clue, you're writing one letter at a time, but before you add another letter, everyone passes their clues clockwise, which means you're adding a letter to your teammate's clue, not yours. So it's kind of like, I think this is kind of like those games where you're giving a clue, and you say one word of the sentence, and I say the next word, and we go back and forth.
Yeah.
But instead of that, we're doing letters.
Okay.
And you're spelling something?
Yeah, like if I'm trying to get you to guess, I don't know, pizza, I might write P for my first clue, and you know what would be your next letter?
Probably not I. Wait, that's all the clues I get?
Yeah, we're trying to give Z a clue to guess the word pizza. So
Oh.
I'm writing a clue, and so I write P, and I pass it to you.
Oh, if I knew the word, I'd probably write I.
You're not helpful at all. Sorry.
Like,
You should be writing E, so we could write pepperoni out.
oh, that makes more sense.
No, but that's not how the game works. You have to then adjust to his eye, and you write an E, and it says pie.
That's true. That
That's
makes
true,
more
and
sense.
that would
That's
work
the
as well.
point.
You
That's
would
how-
hand it back to me, and I'd be like,
Yeah,
what
if
is
you guys
wrong with
actually,
you?
that is the game. If you knew what you were both writing, there's no need for both of you to be
I
there.
understand that, but this
This what? Go ahead.
Say it.
I was trying to,
Finish your sentence.
say the word pizza.
Tom.
That you can't say the.
What were you going for? Pizza? Were you going for pizza?
This.
Yes, but that's the word. You can't say the
Okay.
word. That's a clue.
Come on, Joey.
Wow.
Here, we'll do it right now. Why don't we just do it right now?
Okay, moving on. Forestry. This is coming from Pink Troubadour, who
Oh.
did well this year with Galileo Galilei. This is, who's the designer? Michael Paici? It's a 1 to 4 player game. You are forest stewards doing sustainable forest management. And
Sounds cozy. I'm very confused.
On the perspective of that photo?
Yes.
Is that a little one
It looks like a tiny tree that is right up in my face.
That's what I say. They put the phone next to it. One of those things where you can make the tree
Yeah,
look
the
huge.
forced perspective thing, right? Because that tree looks like a twig.
It does.
Like a 5-inch little twig on the ground.
what has to be?
But then the people are full
Otherwise,
humans.
those leaves are massive leaves, guys.
Yeah, I'm confused. Why is that so up in my face then?
Or is this like a diorama with these little figures they put around this
Are they
little thing?
hobbits?
Yes.
Good grief, guys.
I'm struggling with the perspective of this cover.
All right. Well, speaking of covers, which cover's better? Delicious Games announced their next game, which will not be designed by Vladimir Succi. And then they're like, here's 2 covers. One of them's not done. Pick which one you like better.
I love that. I love how they're like, we don't want to sway the audience or anything, but one of these 2 is finished, has color. Come on. Also, the titles, Aquaristics. Is that like a new band? It's awful.
And the font is terrible.
Oh, there's no contest. If they really expect people to pick between these 2, they're just being.
I don't know. That's
This is fake engagement, y'all. It's the aquarium, the one with the cover.
I don't really like the first one that much either.
Maybe this is what that is. They're softening the blow.
oh
They're
yeah.
like, look at these 2 covers. This
Good
one's a
point.
splatter of brown. This one is the aquarium. Which one should we pick? And then you feel like it's your fault that you picked this.
It's like you chose this cover. You have
You
to like
picked
it.
it.
Yeah, that's
Alrighty.
it.
So one of the games that Emery's excited about this year is Menefer, or Menefer. I don't know how to pronounce it. Anyway, from the same company now, we have Masks of Nylert Thotep.
Listen, they have illegal use of consonants.
What do you mean? It's a Cthulhu word, guys. Nyarlathotep.
Don't guys us.
Is it really? He's on
no,
my
him.
side on this one.
No, I'm not.
All right, I'm gonna write a letter.
Anyway,
Masks.
Let's make him
of
guess this one.
Nyarlathotep.
this is from Ludanova, and I guess
think.
Chaosium's involved somehow, mostly because I think it's based on a legendary campaign of the same name from the role-playing game The Call of Cthulhu.
Boom.
Wow, you know
Anyway.
your Cthulhu.
So this is designed by the same guys who did Men Nefer. So that's interesting.
Menefer.
All right. This next cover, I like this one a lot. It's Coming of Age, a life-changing board game. This is from Danny Garcia, which is interesting.
Read.
Some good designs.
Read your book. Okay, it's
I
very
think
angry.
he's showing love, not
No,
yelling at his
he's
daughter to
frustrated at
read.
this point in the day.
I love the. Yeah, this is a really nice collage.
I agree.
It looks really good. It's very bright, very cartoony, but it has its own style. This doesn't feel like that artwork that gets used in every commercial ever to sell you like some new medicine.
Yeah.
I like the look. It's very vibrant.
Yeah, you're going to start young, grow up, so it's very similar to that other game, Pursuit of Happiness.
Right.
Get new interests, gain more independence. You maybe even fall in love, dreams and ambitions. It definitely doesn't look modern, though. Looks like coming of age for someone my age. Like, a lot of that stuff on there feels
Right.
like eating pizza, playing an arcade game. That's not...
But you can feel it, though, right?
I know
That's
kids these days
true.
eat pizza, but that with the girl with the hat in the top corner, that looks like... It looks like the kids at the arcade and eating pizza. That's definitely an 80s thing.
This is targeting people our age or around our age and
Sure.
us coming of age.
Yeah, I think that's what it is.
Yeah.
I think kids today have nostalgia for when we grew up, too, though.
Maybe.
You know, I mean, these movies
This
are
is
making
also
them
from
miss that.
Ludanova, so
It's like-
that looks
This looks
interesting.
really neat.
It
I'm
does.
excited.
That's great artwork, too. It's no aquaristic.
All right, this next one's a little odd here. It's a game called Nains, Nains, and this is a retheming of Nidavellir,
Ooh.
based on a apparently comic serial universe of Nains, which I will never watch I'll never read because wow, if that's what that comic looks like. That looks so boring.
It's about dwarves, right? Or
Well,
gnomes
the word Nains means dwarves.
in French.
But I
in
mean,
Cthulhu.
Nidavellir was already about dwarves, so this is just
Yeah,
a
this is-
sidestep. And that graphic design looks terrible. Down
From
in
what
the
I
bottom.
understand, the designer who passed away some time ago originally wanted the game set in the intellectual property of this. Nine? I don't know how you say this, but and they couldn't get that intellectual property, so they kind of made up their own with Nidavellir, and it's still being, dwarves. And the company continued to try to get the rights to use this intellectual property. They did, so they're republishing using that. I can't speak to what the comic looks like. I've never seen it. I got this one image. I think it looks okay. It's not like, particularly
I really don't like
off-putting.
that graphic design on the bottom.
The graphic design on the bottom I don't love either. Those cards look, well, like that cover we just saw that we shouldn't have picked.
Yeah. Is it a style, the half-drawn stuff, like in the
It
back?
might not be done yet, too. So.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
Anyway, they said it's similar to Nidavellir, but there's going to be new ways to score points and new strategies in an exceptional universe. And again, maybe this is incredible. This might be an incredibly popular comic in France and all, so I don't know a lot about it.
That's probably what it is. It would be like setting it in one of our comic books and be like, oh, yeah, and people in other parts of the world don't know anything about it.
Yeah.
All right, Garfield Games is launching a new Kickstarter coming up, and they're going to have playing cards with Miko artwork on them. So, playing card expert Z, what do you think?
Those are cool. I mean, are they actually playing cards? Is it just a legit deck of playing cards?
Yeah, I think so. 2 different decks, with the difference being the card back art.
Okay, well, I don't love the 4 suits being in 4 different colors. I don't mind if they do color shifting on stuff, but I want the 2 black suits to be the same color and the 2 red suits to be the same color.
You're right, because that does matter for some games.
Oh,
It
yeah.
matters for some games, and then you have to know it. You know what I mean? I also don't. I'm not sure I love diamonds being in yellow. That's not super legible. I also do not like court cards that don't have rotational symmetry. I want to be able to turn the card upside down and not know it's upside down. So there's that too. But I love this artwork. It's fun. It's very vibrant.
Yeah, and they also have a bunch of other things coming, extra stuff for promos and reprints of some of their older games.
I always wonder, people that get these,
Interesting.
because apparently these sell a lot. Do they get them to collect, or do they actually play to card games with?
Come on now.
A lot of people like.
You are you.
I know.
Yeah.
I know our people collect them, magicians, but I just didn't know if muggles.
Yeah, I don't know. I collect decks of playing cards, but I also do open them and look at them and shuffle
Right,
them.
the
Some
artwork
people
and stuff.
don't. So
You always look at the Ace of Spades, see what they did special with that one.
yeah, but the cord cards also.
To me,
Yeah,
that's
court
even
cards are good, too.
weirder. If you're buying a deck of playing cards and you won't even open them, what was the point?
Collecting it, just having it somewhere.
You're not even enjoying the artwork of it.
Some people do that. Yeah, I know.
I don't open my game sometimes.
Also from Garfield Games, the second edition, this is, I think, a first for them. They're reprinting someone else's game, Asseria, which was originally an Istari game.
Yes, from
Uh,
Emmanuel Ornella, I think.
yes. However, now it's a co-design with Shem Phillips and Sam McDonald, so they developed it a lot.
Okay.
I never played the original Asseria because it looks more boring than boring.
Wow.
But this one looks a lot better. This actually looks pretty good. 1 to 4, and this is also going to be it says crowdfunded next year.
Actually, I like that cover for some reason.
It's good.
The artwork is really dimensional.
And then we have Isle of Cats Duel.
Finally.
Continuing, I know. We should play when we do our end of the year predictions for next year, one of them should just be, so what games are getting a duel
That would be
version?
good.
Oh, 100%. In fact, that could easily be a top 10. Top 10 upcoming duel games, and then underneath in parentheses, speculative.
Wait, ones that we want or think will come? Because that's a different list.
Both.
Okay. All right.
So anyway, this is also...
Stay tuned.
This is coming out in December 2024. I'm assuming that means it's a Kickstarter then?
No, I'm sure.
I'm not sure, but I would assume so. All right. The rest of our news is all Simon. Here we go.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah. I just got back from Thailand.
So the first is, we mentioned this yesterday in our, I didn't say that at all,
I was talking about me.
Super Fantasy Brawl. So this is a pre-order that's on right now. And it does... So what happened was there was some issues with
saw
the
the
rights
comment.
of Mortal Kombat, which is why they removed them briefly from the pre-order, but they will be back. Okay? So it's a real thing.
That was pretty funny.
You messed up.
I didn't mess up.
Did you get it yanked? Because you mentioned it, and they're like, "Oh, we don't have permission."
No, I'm just saying that's what happened.
So it's in the same. So you can get Turtles and Mortal Kombat eventually in the same.
You can have like Leonardo fight Sub-Zero.
Why is that more interesting to me now? Before Turtles, like okay, but now it's like, okay,
Because Turtles are in a lot of games.
they are. This is like the Capcom versus whoever.
There is no good Mortal Kombat board game.
Or video
there's
game.
no-
Also, this is pretty funny. Whenever we talk about Mortal Kombat, you say Sub-Zero. I'm like, and who else is in that game? You're
I
like,
know everybody in that game up to Mortal Kombat 3. After that, I
You
couldn't
know
keep up.
Scorpion and his brother Sub-Zero.
Scorpion.
That's it.
Smoke.
they're definitely not skins of
Sub-Zero.
the same
No,
character.
they're not.
Luke Kang.
Luke wins.
He does win fatality. That guy's good.
Who's the guy with the hat and the lightning?
What's the name of the? Is it? Oh, the
Goro.
Raiden.
Goro is the exclusive if you pre-order it. the
Really?
Mortal Kombat
Oh.
series.
Okay.
And the exclusive if you get the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is Casey Jones.
I love Casey Jones.
Was he the photographer?
No, what? He's the guy with the hockey
He's the
mask.
hockey mask guy. The photographer is April. And it's
April
a woman.
O'Neil.
Okay, yeah, sorry.
Oh my gosh.
It's been a while.
Raiden.
I'm more a Mortal Kombat person.
Jax.
Axe, yes,
Oh.
with the metal arms.
I hate when people love the ones like
Luke
Mortal
Cage.
Kombat 7 that no one knows their names. There's like 1,000 people in them.
Luke Cage, I said, and he was like, yeah, that sounds right. That's Johnny Cage.
Johnny Cage. All right. Also coming from CMON, there's basically Massive Darkness 3. Although, from what I can tell, it's called Massive Darkness Dungeons of Shadow Reach. So it's hard to. They told me it was Massive Darkness 3, but they said it's also backwards compatible with 2. So
Okay.
basically, there are 6 new classes. That's all I care about.
Real question.
And more monsters and
Wow,
stuff.
new
Can we
classes.
get the previous, like, Massive Darkness 1 if we want to? I'm just kidding. Can we get the second one? That's what I want to know.
Well, you'll find out in the campaign, I'm sure. I would imagine that would be a good idea.
You
for them
usually
to
do, right? But that was such
Is it
a
out of
big...
print?
Well, you can't get, like, the Kickstarter one.
Oh, they might do that. They've done it for like the United games.
Right, that's what I was thinking. If they do that...
This is interesting. 6 new classes. There's already a bunch of classes, and they all behave.
There was 6 in the
Mechanically
original
very
box,
different.
and then I think there was 4 more. So I think there's 10 currently.
I really
Wow.
wanted to not like this game.
So don't like it.
No,
then.
it's really good.
Oh, you do like it.
I do like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also coming from CMON, well, this actually was released in Thailand, Nova Era. Nova Era is a game in which
Wow.
you're building a civilization and trying not to let it fall into decline. There's a lot of ways for it to fall into decline. Dark Ages, famines,
Tell me
riots,
about it.
and more. This was released there.
Really?
Yeah, we have a copy here in the studio. Production copy. I do not know when it will hit America, but I would imagine soon.
Just hit America. It's in the studio.
Also released there, they released 3 games. It was like a surprise trio of releases. Nyakuza. Now, Nyakuza, this is a cat-themed game, and it's a remake of...
Ororo or Toro or Momoro.
It's a Reiner Knizia game, so it will be getting a 9 out of
You're
10
close.
from Mike DeLisio when he plays it.
He's already given it.
Rororo.
Row.
Anyhow, this one...
Storm's name is Ororo, right? Monroe or something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
Orongo. I was so close.
Say Storm's name?
Orongo.
Storm's name is Halle Berry.
No, it's not.
Okay. Then...
You're thinking of cat.
In a big reveal on the stage, they had a blanket covering something. What was that something? A giant Godzilla. So this is for the upcoming Death May Die. There's going to be a giant Godzilla that's the same size as the giant Cthulhu that came out.
Stop. You skipped over the news part. There's upcoming Death May Die stuff.
Yeah.
Yes.
Who cares about this? It's a giant toy.
But
there's more Cthulhu Death May Die stuff.
There is.
But could this fight anything like another large monster?
Oh, my word. Anyway, so yes, you can have Godzilla fight Cthulhu.
What?
Wait, what?
There's a scenario where you can have the two fight each other.
Who do you got? Who you got in a real fight? Those two. There's only one answer.
Cthulhu.
There's no. Have you seen -1? I know you've seen -1.
Yeah.
There's no way.
Have you seen Cthulhu? Look, I'm on Godzilla's team. I think he would die, though.
What? You both are wrong. We will figure that
I
out.
feel like Cthulhu would make him claw his own eyes out. Be like, wah, 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 and done.
They can't use magic.
Wah, wah, wah.
Anyway, how many
we
people do you
can't
think
do
are going
that.
to do to set up both giant miniatures? It's like a convention show-off game.
More than you would think.
2 in this room.
You've only played the big one once.
I don't want to play it. I want to own it.
And then you pick which side you're on, Cthulhu or Godzilla, I think is what they were saying.
Really? This is so...
Yes, there is more Death May Die coming, but they only cared about
This
Godzilla,
is
sorry.
so crazy.
So if you bought that little Godzilla,
I know, I love it. It feels like a preview. They were
good
like,
point.
sucker, the limited edition baby Godzilla was just to tempt you for the big Godzilla.
well, they did the same thing. They had the little Cthulhu in the base game, right?
They did, and then they made the big boy.
Do they play the same way or no? The big one plays different?
No, the big one is its own scenario. You climb him and stuff. I've fought him. I've stared at his
Go ahead.
terror and survived.
Okay.
He's not exaggerating. It's pretty horrific.
Wow. Okay.
But anyway,
I want to know who sculpted that.
This is pretty cool. This is fun. I like that they're leaning into this.
Godzilla?
Yeah, and if you don't want this giant, massive thing, you just don't get it. You know, I'm not trying to yuck anyone's
I'm getting
yum,
this for the
so.
studio. That's awesome.
Yes.
It's cool.
Get 2.
All right. Also, they announced
3.
Marvel Invasions, and they were incredibly vague as to what it is. If you look at that lower screen there, you'll notice almost everything has been redacted in the blue square in the bottom.
What is that like? What do the minis look like? I can't see from. Are
There
they?
are minis, right? As far as we know, there's a
Yeah,
miniatures
so it's a
game.
miniature
Got it,
game.
it
It is not Marvel Zombicide.
Secret Invasion? Is that what they're doing?
It is something else. I don't know. It's called Marvel Invasion. They were like blank, blank, blank.
Oh,
Heroes.
so it's got language in it. But I'm liking what Simon's doing.
I wonder what this is based
The
on.
Invasions does look like Secret Invasion to some degree.
It does. It does.
It reminds me of
Right? It's based on the very popular MCU
Starship
Secret
Troopers.
Invasion.
Yeah, TV show, yeah.
That's what looks like. They're like the bugs. I can't say many. I don't know. I hope it's Starship Troopers and Marvel. Those two
What?
combined.
What is wrong with
Do you think it's going to be, legit question, is this going to be based on something
or new?
of theirs or something they purchased from someone, or is it going to be a new system?
If I had to put my money down, it's based on something else. How about Massive Darkness Marvel?
I'd do that.
I'd pledge
Massive-
That's an
$1,000.
add-on. I would. Ooh.
Marvel, yeah.
Or just crossover things to bring them. Oh, that'd be great.
I wonder.
I want
I'm
Iron
very
Man to just
curious
run
about
through that
this.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, our last piece of news. They also re-released in a brand new skin Ethnos.
Second edition.
Second edition. So this is a little odd because Archaeo Society was released last year. So I asked about that, and apparently both were in production at the same time. Archaeo Society just happened to come out first.
Okay.
But they knew both companies knew the other one was making the other game, essentially. Ethnos is a straight reprint. Archaeo Society has more tracks than Area Control. This reprint looks amazing. There was some mixed reactions from our Tuesday night play about the card iconography, so I'm a little concerned about that, and the card coloring.
Yeah.
But I have not played it myself, but it looks pretty on the table.
I definitely want to try it. I know they changed a couple things. It's
A lot of things.
there's
No,
a,
no,
there's a
they
look
did it
is the look is quite
artwork-wise.
different. Yes, the look is
That's-
fully different.
Well, the original one was like based on a real world island, wasn't it, or something?
With
Like
halflings
the
and
map,
skeletons?
you mean?
Yeah, the map was based on a real world island somewhere.
Okay, but the theme was not. I should be clear about that.
Skeletons, yeah.
Fully different look, different vibe to it. I know they changed a couple of the decks that are included. They added a couple of tiny little rules tweaks, but it's kind of the same game.
By the way, Loopy, Marvel Invasions is not a Marvel Zombies expansion, or at least Simon told me directly to my face it was not. They might have lied to me, but
Yeah.
at least they told me it was not.
When is that going to be like fully announced?
Who knows? Next year.
Oh, I'm so excited.
Probably Kickstarter, I'm sure, right?
All right. So that is the news. can recognize covers.
Yeah, you recognize covers, guys. You beasted it. They got 5 out of 5. Mike Heller got 4
together
out of
we
5,
did.
and I consider him to be a beast.
Which one do you think Mike Heller did not get?
Brazil.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Today our top 3 is top 3 movie intros or the opening scenes. Sorry, opening scenes to the movie.
Okay, so I had to
Which
cut
could be the movie
a
intro.
lot from these, so I'm curious to see which ones did not make the list on you guys, because there are several that just made me. There are reasons I cut them. I'm like, I don't want to talk about it. It's like it was good opening scenes, but yeah, this was
There might be some spoilers there, but goodness sake.
For an opening
That's
scene,
good
though,
point.
to be fair. You know what I mean?
There's one I almost put on the list. It's too new. That Ungentlemanly Warfare.
oh, was
Yes, I
opening
just
scene?
saw that.
Was it good?
It's very good. That opening scene is one of the better parts of the movie, actually. The movie's good, but that opening scene's
Really?
great.
Well, you can watch the opening scene. It's like on YouTube or something.
Okay.
Okay, because I
Also, the rest of the movie,
and
maybe.
the movie was good too, right?
Oh, I really liked it.
Steal content,
It's like,
kids.
it's like a slightly kinder version of.
Inglorious.
It kind of
Yes.
is. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, it has that feel to it. Kind of tongue in cheek.
Glorious jerks.
Yes.
All right. So,
Wow.
what's your number 3?
All right, my number 3 is openings. I like opening scenes that really get you into it and make you feel like, okay, this is going to be different. And this is J.J. Abrams' Star Trek. When you've got, I love
that is a very good opening
it
scene with
with Thor.
Thor's in it.
Yes.
The whole movie.
Wait, I'm trying to remember what happened in this movie.
His dad
No,
died.
What's wrong with you and the spoil? I just said he's in the whole movie.
Oh, he's not.
I told people it was going to be spoilers.
All right, he dies. He
Oh,
doesn't have
this
the.
movie's like 10 years
He
old.
doesn't have the hammer yet, is what it was. No, here's what happens, right? Big ship comes out of the
come
hole,
on.
You're
and
right.
he's like, "Oh no!"
And she's
and
pregnant.
and the real captain goes over there. They kill him. Quack quack. And this fool becomes captain for like 5 minutes. His wife is pregnant with the
Kirk.
future Kirk Cameron or whatever his
Yes,
name is.
that's his
and They
name.
put him on a little ship. Her on a ship, and she. Boop, 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 boop,
Yep.
boop, and she's giving birth on it like Leia.
Yes.
And then this guy's like, "Oh no, what am I gonna do? Call my wife."
And they
Will you accept
FaceTime.
a collect call from? I'm dying. And then
Yes.
he crashes the ship into the other big boy ship.
it's like I'm
And
watching
that.
it right now.
Yeah.
I
love you.
I really remember the second one because we're on that planet that's like all pink, running.
Yes, that's.
But I didn't think that's a good. It was fine.
But you remember this opening scene,
I do
right?
remember it now that he's explained it.
It's in great detail. I mean, that's really impressive, by
Thank
the way.
you.
for, as an audio.
And scene.
But you feel so much. You feel Kirk. You feel the legacy, and then you feel the bad guy. You hate him. I mean, everything is like the first 10 minutes. It's really good. After that, Chris Hemsworth should have just quit acting. It's like he had nothing more.
This
to
was
look
before
forward to.
Thor.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Oof.
All right, what's your number 3?
That's horrible. All right.
Ooh, wait. What are the? I'm watching for any Marvels anybody's here. Go ahead.
My number 3 is my favorite Mission Impossible movie, and that is Mission Impossible 3. And the opening scene, they do this cold open from like the middle of the movie, actually from very late in the movie, where it just opens on him tied to a chair, kind of beat up.
Try to remember 3. 3 was.
And then they're like, "Tell me where the rabbit's foot is, or I'm going to kill this person." That you don't know who that is, but clearly he cares about who they are. And it's like the guy's like, "I'm going to count down to 10 or count up to 10 or whatever it is." You don't remember this? And then he's like, Ethan Hunt here is like freaking out about the whole thing, and the guy's like trying to press him for like the rabbit's foot, shoots the lady he's holding captive in like the knee, and Ethan Hunt's like, "I'll do whatever you want. I'll get it. I gave you the real thing. I don't know what you want. If you didn't like what I got you, I'll get you anything else." Because he stole something for this person. And then that scene ends with the bad guy, killing her, and he screams, and it cuts to the credits. That scene is like,
Really?
and then it opens right after that to him and that lady who just got shot at like a house party. 3 weeks earlier or whatever, and you're like, oh my goodness me. It's like one of
I
those
remember
scenes
the
that I'm
ending
like,
to 3. I
the
just don't
whole
remember
thing,
the
I'm like,
beginning.
I need to go back.
yeah, the whole time I'm like, oh my
I
goodness.
kept saying
Yeah.
tied to chair, and I kept thinking about Scarlett Johansson, her tied to chair thing, where it's like,
Oh, that's
and
a good phone.
no, yeah, it's Yeah, this one is
They have good opening sequence. Even the second one, which is basically just him climbing a mountain.
yeah.
The movies are just
That was-
great. Mission Impossible movies are just
The
still
third one has a really great story, great actors in it, good characters. But yeah, that one opening scene is very like, okay, I'm hooked.
Is it the one his real wife is in it before they? Huh, I can't remember.
Yes.
Okay.
Not real like in real life.
No, but like in the-
yeah.
Huh.
So my number 3 is there's of this. Well, now it's a quintet of movies, I suppose. But this is of the original trilogy. This is the least well received of the movies, but it is my favorite of
Taken
the opening
3.
scenes. No, it's the second one. It's Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom.
I don't know what happens in
Oh.
the beginning.
So this is
That's really
not
good.
as good as the other 3 movies. And in fact, the first one is the iconic opening where he goes in and the boulder rolls after him.
yeah.
This is the one where he's in that. It has almost nothing to do with the rest of the movie.
Or it's the casino.
He's in the casino and they're spinning the table with the diamond and the poison, and then they start shooting up the whole place. It starts off with like this dance number.
I don't remember it super well. I've only seen this movie once, I think.
I think you could watch this scene, and then when they jump on the plane, you can go and cut.
Yeah. Before,
Well, no, I mean, there's also iconic. The minecart scenes are awesome
Yeah.
at the
Sure,
end and
sure,
stuff.
sure.
But the middle of the movie, you're like, oof, will this woman ever stop screaming? But
Answer is
I
no.
really
like
like.
Short Round's in this one, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Is that his name?
Yeah.
That dude is making such an awesome comeback.
He really is.
Did you see that trailer for his action movie coming up?
He's in an action movie.
He's got like a straight up nobody style, John Wick style action movie coming up. And it looks
Oh
great.
yes, please.
He looks great in it.
This one I like Temple of Doom.
I like Temple of Doom fine. I like all 3 of the original Indiana
Yeah,
Jones.
Raiders best.
It's my least. No, Last Crusade. Sean
Oh,
Connery and
right,
him. I
okay,
love that.
yeah, okay.
But I like this opening so much. It was just so. It
Yeah,
gets
I
more
agree.
and more chaotic as
Okay.
it keeps going on, because pretty soon they're shooting it up. He's hiding behind a gong while it's
Yes.
rolling on the floor.
Oh, I remember that. That's
He jumps
great.
out, meets Dan Aykroyd for 1 second.
Yeah.
He says, "Get on the plane," and that was Dan Aykroyd for the whole movie.
Wait, Dan
this
Aykroyd is in
great.
this for a moment?
Yeah, he's the guy who Indiana
I didn't
Jones
know
runs
that.
to the dock, and Dan Aykroyd's like, "We got your plane ready." He's like, "Thanks." He gets on and flies off, and then the bad guys are like, he, because the pilot's theirs.
Oh, okay.
And then it goes to credits. Anyway, that's my number 3.
All right.
What's it going?
Joe, what do you got?
All right, my number 2. I had a couple of horror ones that were going to make my list.
Ooh,
but,
interesting. You didn't want to talk about them.
This is one I did not want to put on there because I think I mentioned it before, but I got to put on one of the best horror openings. That everything that you need to know to solve this thing is in that first scene, and that is Scream.
Oh, I said this
Scream.
to you yesterday.
Yes, and I'm like, man, and I hated that you said this. I'm like, oh, I was already thinking that. I'm like, I can't believe you thought this one because you don't do horror.
It's iconic because there's such a big actress in it that you think is going to be in the movie, and
Right.
she's only in the opening scene.
It's
It's like the big twist back when this came out was like
Drew Barrymore.
a audacious thing to do, to be like Drew Barrymore was on the poster.
and she's hot at this point. Yes.
Right. She was on the poster. She's the opening thing, the whole thing. She's running, and you're like, she's fine. She's the lead actress. And sure enough, bam, they kill her 2 minutes into the movie.
This is
And you're
it.
like, what just happened?
And the way she goes, the way it just that ebbs and flows and up and then you've got the whole. I'm going to spoil this because it's 30 years old, so whatever. But you find out that
Oh, boy.
they put in the fact there's 2 killers in this scene because she's like, the killer's like, okay, guess which door I'm at, and if you get it right, you win. So she can guess front door or back door. There's 2 killers. There's one at each door. So at that point, there's 2 of them. And
Why
all
do
the
you
stuff
know that?
How do you know that?
Well, because the director said later that's the way. Because either way, the killer was each place.
Yeah, but how do you know she just didn't pick wrong?
Well, you think that way you're watching
You just
it.
said you can figure it out.
You can. I figured it out. I did.
You watched
But-
the whole movie.
I think this is one of those that just grabs you, and the voice, everything comes together and gives you that feeling. This revitalized slashers, I think.
Yeah, big time.
And this
By
is first 10
mocking
minutes.
them at the same time.
Right, and it's very tongue in cheek because it did kind of acknowledge.
They're tropey, right?
Right, and it's just I haven't seen there's been 3 more recent ones. I haven't seen those, but
Yeah, I'm surprised it's had a resurgence, didn't it?
it has with
'Cause they did Scream 1, 2, 3, I think.
right.
Kind of quieted for a while, but they've
And
been.
the scary movies all came out.
I know,
then
and then
they
they
stopped
waited for
because,
that
yeah.
to die down, and now they picked this back up.
I even watched the series. The series wasn't bad either, but yeah. Yeah, so anyway, it's iconic.
All right.
Interesting. All right, my number 2 is, again, another one of those, all 3 of mine are kind of white-knuckle opening scenes where you're like, oof, okay, this movie's like not playing around kind of feelings, you know what I mean? And my second one here is for X-Men 2. The opening for X-Men 2 is the opening with, what's his name, who can teleport?
Nightcrawler
this
going
is
into the
great.
president's
Nightcrawler.
office.
Yes.
Yes. That's the best part of that movie by a mile.
Yes.
Yeah, Nightcrawler scene. Who,
That's
like,
so good.
again, he's sort of visiting the White House or whatever, and he can just, like, and it's like, I mean, the scene is so tense,
good.
so incredibly well made. That power, they nail the graphic design of that smoke puff.
Yes.
Of him, like, vanishing and coming back. There's even a little bit there that they do it in slow motion, where it's like one guy coming at him, and he goes, boof, boof, grabs the guy, tosses him over his shoulder and vanishes, poof, appears somewhere else, sweeping somebody's leg. It's like, oh my god, like unstoppable.
I
he gets
agree.
to the president's desk, right? And you're like, this is like, and so they get you with that fear of, this is what mutants can do. You know, they put you on that side of the argument immediately. And you're like, maybe they're right. Like, this is an interesting argument. So I thought that was a great opening scene.
That was the moment I thought, okay, we could take him, but that's like, they're unbeatable.
Right.
I mean, all these Secret Service, I'm like, they nailed that.
So, like, again, it puts you on the edge of your seat in the first 3 minutes.
I forgot about that. Is a good one. Wow.
Yeah, that movie's fine. I like it probably the best of the trilogy of that first 3 movies. But that opening scene is the best part.
It is.
Fire.
Yeah,
Absolutely
it's downhill
fire.
from there.
My number 2 is also a superhero. It's from the Marvel Cinematic Universe and is the funniest opening credits season. I just love it. I love the fact that in the opening credit scene, everything is happening out of focus. And that is Guardians of the Galaxy's 2.
Oh,
I love that whole sequence. They're like all standing there waiting for this alien to come.
yes.
The alien lands, and the credits start, and you're just basically watching Baby Groot
Dance.
and everyone in the background. But the background stuff matters.
So it
Right,
doesn't make
right,
any
right.
sense. I told him that. Yeah, it's like, you're right.
it's
That's
just.
a good
I
one,
also
too.
like the original Guardians of the Galaxy. I remember we went and watched that.
Yeah.
And we're kind of like, what's this going to be like? And that opening credits had us.
Yeah.
It was really funny with him dancing his way through. But I really like the second one because you got to know the team at that point.
You felt like you liked everyone there, which is what they had that not even the Avengers had. Just like, you liked all of those people. That just really brought you. Yeah, I really liked that opening scene.
I just enjoyed those. This major fight, and they're like, background. You can just watch it over here.
And the little fights of Groot chasing that little thing around. And it's
Oh, that's
just,
right, 'cause he gets angry with that little weird rat-looking thing. He's like, and he ray chases and grabs it, and then, like, something happens and he forgets it. It goes, like, back to dancing. Yeah, it's great.
Oh, yeah. I think we've watched that so many times. Before Juliet could watch the real movies, we watched that scene so many times. It's so cute. Yeah.
All right. What's your number 1?
All right. My number 1 is when you are hyped up for a movie and it's like, I hope this is good. I hope this is good. When you have that feeling in the first 5 minutes or so that you're like, this is going to deliver. You've got those movies you look forward to for so long, but you're nervous. It's not going to. And this is the newest one on my list. But this is the opening for Deadpool versus Wolverine. I loved watching this. It might be just me because I'm sitting there thinking, because ever since the teaser came out and all this news came out, whether or not it's going to be funny, things are cut, whatever, it's like, are they going to be able to deliver under a Disney license rather than Sony? All this, that opening scene, I thought it was hilarious. I thought it was great. I thought it grabbed the feel of the movie, and I loved it. I mean, digging up Wolverine, that was just great. I'm ruining it for everybody here. This is a new one.
It's very new.
Yeah, but used to. Anyway, the opening scene, the dance scene, all this, the very tongue-in-cheek, I loved this.
This is your number 1?
You know what?
I thought the dancing was. I love the scene.
I
thought the
with
dancing was
happiness.
okay. I didn't love that part. I thought they did it a lot.
I liked
Like
it
they
here.
did the whole music video. I don't need the whole music video. You know what I
But
mean?
you needed credits, see?
You do, and they mix it with the fighting, and they cut to him just dancing. I thought
Well,
it
it's
was
not
fun.
him. They actually hired
Of course. It's not. Yeah.
Well, this is
But-
why I always view Deadpool as I don't want him in the MCU. It's its own entity. You know, that's why
Yeah.
I feel as silly. I don't want to see him brought in because I think it would ruin everything. I just think I see this as in its own
I think
bubble.
they're bringing him in.
I know. I'm
Yeah,
not,
this one was-
not excited about that one.
That was my least favorite intro of the three. I'll put it that way. Of the three Deadpool movies.
Really?
Yeah.
Your least favorite of the Deadpool movies?
No. I said it's my least favorite intro of the Deadpool movies.
I don't know the other intros.
The first intro was the taxi fight.
Right.
What was the second
The
one?
second one is him on the barrels, filled with barrels, and he's like, Wolverine had to go and die, didn't he?
Oh,
well, I'm
yeah,
dying in
that
this one
was
too.
good.
And he throws a cigarette
That
and
was good
explodes
too.
himself.
Yeah.
That's true. Okay.
And then there's an intro like the 007 movies. It's a 007 style
Yeah.
intro. Yeah, this one with the dancing, I thought was fine, and the fight around the dancing was great.
I thought it was
right?
great.
But-
I loved it because they solved how it was like, how you can figure that's Wolverine? He's dead. Let's just show you at the beginning.
yeah,
It's like,
yeah.
I mean, when it pans back, he's like, I'm no doctor, but you look dead. It was great. So
I
anyway.
need to rewatch it. To be fair, it's been a bit. All right, my number one is one that I thought might be the one you were gonna say there, Joey. But it's again that whole like we're waiting for another part of this trilogy kind of thing. And this is the intro for The Dark Knight, where you're like,
That was
I've
on
heard
the
good
list,
things.
yes.
It's gonna be good, and that intro is like hits you like a truck, and you're like. Again, I think that's what I loved about the Christopher Nolan Batman movies.
This is the second one?
The second one,
Yeah.
the bank heist.
yeah.
That is a really good scene.
Yeah, the one thing that I think he nailed with those movies was that they felt real, and that worked. You know, it's
Right.
this slow pan on the window with that awesome soundtrack, and the window explodes or whatever. Poof, I think that's the one. Yeah, and the guys are rappelling into the thing and breaking into the whatever, and all the clowns start betraying each other, making their way in there.
right,
You know, the
yeah.
guy in the bank. Do you know who you're robbing? You know, shooting with a shotgun. Yeah, it's.
I kind of felt bad for him.
I kind of felt bad for him too,
Was
but
this
he was
Dark
a
Knight or
mobster.
Dark Knight Rises? This is Dark Knight.
The Dark Knight,
was
the
he a
second
mobster?
one. Yeah, he's a mob. It's a mob bank, so he's.
Oh,
a
you're right.
mobster.
That's okay. I feel less bad now.
Yeah. So
This was on my list because I almost watched it this week because I kept thinking, I'm like, man, it was so good.
it's so
Yeah.
good. Like that intro is so good, and he puts that smoke bomb in his mouth and starts walking away with the string on the jacket. You know, and the purple jacket is
Yeah.
like finally pulls the pin, but it's just a smoke grenade. And he takes the mask of a clown off, but he's painted underneath. It's just like the music. The whole thing is so intense. It's incredibly good, yeah.
I agree.
All right, my number one is the saddest opening.
Oh.
Here we go.
It's true though. It's
Is
basically a movie before a movie, and that is the opening to Up.
Oh, I hate this.
Oh,
no.
whoa. Just took down the room.
Oh, it's the
It's a good
worst.
opening.
It's the worst,
I
most
intentionally-
manipulative,
I avoided
It is
sadness in my first.
awful.
Oh, man, it's rough.
It's just
Ruin it for
awful. It's the
everybody.
antithesis of the Deadpool one.
It
It's
is.
like it's a whole scene designed to let you know this isn't serious. The Up opening scene is designed to go, this is serious. You will cry at cartoons.
Oh, whatever.
Oh.
It's great, and I
Hate
really
it.
like the ending tied back into
It's
it.
great because it's like it gets you emotionally invested in a cartoon. It's like, oh, I like that guy. Oh man, yeah.
It also feels
that's
like a
really
very
good.
realistic story.
It does.
It's like very realistic. I don't know. I really liked Up.
That's Ghost Ship was on my list, by the way.
Ghost
Ghost
Ship?
Ship on your list?
Yeah, it
You don't want to
was.
watch that opening scene. It's a terrible opening scene.
What is it?
Okay, see, I took off terrible. I took off that one. Also, was Saving Private Ryan on anybody's list? I can't believe that was on anybody's.
That's
I couldn't
good.
remember what the opening scene is.
Oh, just D-Day.
It's
It's-
a really long scene. It's
It is a
almost
very-
like, it's almost like 1/4 of the movie.
I agree. That's
I don't know if I would call it the opening scene exactly. You know what it is, but
yeah. It's one of those. The Dawn of the Dead. I don't know if you ever saw that one where I think it was Zack
Dawn
Snyder.
of the Dead,
With the
the
pregnant
remake.
lady.
Yeah, where the kid is, and that's like the zombies run, and that opening scene gets you.
Yeah, when they pan out and you see suburbia getting
yeah,
destroyed by
yeah,
the
yeah,
zombies.
yeah, very good.
That opening scene was like, it just yeah. Oh,
I had also on the short list Gladiator, the opening scene for Gladiator.
I forgot what that was.
That's them fighting in the forest of Germania or whatever.
Okay.
And he's like, on my Mark Unleash Hell, that whole scene.
Yeah.
And he,
I just watched it on the plane.
yeah, that
Gladiator
scene is
you
very
did?
good, very
Got prep
gritty.
for Gladiator 2.
I got to watch it again.
And then, I don't know if you guys have seen this, but Drive, that movie Drive, is a really good opening scene. The
Who's in
movie's
that?
okay. Ryan Gosling,
Okay, I haven't seen that.
where he's like a getaway driver. And the opening scene is him in a car he takes off his watch, ties it to the steering wheel. He's waiting on somebody to come out, very tense. You're like, what's going to happen? They get in. He's like a great driver, gets into like a stadium. He had figured out that he could get into traffic for a game letting out from a stadium. And he gets out. Everybody jumps out. He puts on a baseball cap, blends into a crowd. It's really, really good. It's a
Baby
great
Driver's
opening scene.
pretty similar.
Baby Driver's a
Driver's a
very
good
good
beginning,
opening
yeah.
scene too, yeah.
All right, well, that's our opening scenes. Let us know yours in the comments. Let's keep going.
Hey folks, welcome back to another Gateway Corner right here on Smorgasbord on the Dice Tower. Thank you for being here. We appreciate it. Now, as we talked about last week, one of the things that I said we should probably stop doing in a Gateway type situation is calling games easy. And I gave a bunch of reasons why that we probably shouldn't do that. A couple of them are we don't want them to feel stupid when a couple of rounds into the game they're still not getting it. We talked about how people process information differently than others. So what might be easy for you is not necessarily easy for other people. And then we also wanted to, we talked about how people already come into a new situation, whatever it might be, whether it's gaming or something else, with a little bit of a decimated view of themselves and their ability to conquer or accomplish whatever they're trying to do in that new situation. So today, what I wanted to talk about is kind of like how we can kind of ease into those kinds of situations and not just, rip a game off of the shelf and blindly say, hey, let's play this game. One of the things that I thought about as I was thinking about this is something that one of the leaders on a service group at church that talks about all the time, and that's the Ford method of beginning conversations and opening up rapport with different people. Ford is an acrostic, and it stands for family, occupation, recreation, and dreams. And those are 4 areas of people's lives that they're generally, in some way, shape, or form, open to talking about. And it's a great way for you to kind of talk about the things that kind of make them tick. The end goal is to share our love and our joy about the hobby, right? Well, how are we going to find out whether or not they're going to be able to find that same kind of joy that we have in this hobby unless we know more about them? So this is something that a lot of people use in a lot of different kinds of circumstances, and I thought, well, why can't we use it in a board game situation as well? The more we can get somebody to talk about their family, the more that we can get them to talk about their occupation or the things that they like to do for fun or the dreams and aspirations that they have, that gives us a little bit more insight on what kind of games they might be interested in. This is an ongoing process, but it's kind of more of a frame of mind than it is a playbook to follow within the first 15 minutes of game night so that you can find out what we're going to be able to put on the table. The instant gratification thing doesn't really work in this kind of situation because what might be instantly gratifying for you, again, may not be instantly gratifying for them. So we're really kind of going into a servant's role, if I can say it that way, because we want them to have a good time doing something that we already enjoy doing. The point is them having fun, not necessarily us. Do you want to have fun? Absolutely. Can you find fun doing something that you would not normally have fun doing? Yeah, I don't necessarily like being the teacher of a game. For example, I'd much rather have JT teach a game because I trust his ability to kind of grok all of the rules at the same time more than I do mine. But if I can teach a game and I can see people enjoying themselves across the table, that's much more satisfying for me. It's the whole point of how can I make this person's night a good time, a memorable experience. Let's try to look at gateway situations as not just what are we going to get to the table, but it's an open doorway to learning more about the people that are sitting at the table with us. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you guys and gals on the flip side. Take care.
All right, today I want to talk a little, real briefly about traveling with games, but I'm talking long distance traveling, not I'm going over to grandma's house.
Okay.
Traveling on a plane. So I just went to Thailand, which is the only time this episode I've said this. So calm down. And I didn't really know what I was going to see there, so I threw 4 small card games in my bag, and they came back. I never touched them.
Right.
But that's because I went to a game convention.
That's what I was going to ask. If you weren't, you probably would have.
Maybe, but how do you package games? What do you do? How many games do you bring on a long trip? Let's say you're going to go somewhere for a week. You're going to go visit relatives.
Flying or driving?
Let's say flying. Because driving is a cheat. You can just throw a whole suitcase of games in the car.
Do you bring some button shy stuff? I obviously bring some button shy, right?
Oh, okay. The problem with button shy stuff is
like Skulls of Sedlick, stuff like that.
I like to err between that. Those might be too small. I want to have something available right in case some gaming breaks out, and I want it to be small because I don't want to lug it around. But I feel like the button shy games, well, many of them are solo for one thing, but even the ones that aren't, it's almost like it's like an aperitif. Like I'll play Skulls of Sedlick and then be left wanting to play a game.
Right.
That's not a negative on those games, mind you. Okay, I'm just saying that would be like, oh, I need to pack some food. I'm gonna take 2 M&Ms, and then after I eat 2 M&Ms, I'm like, man, I'm hungry.
I guess
you know
I
what
bring
I mean?
them for the plane though, like Sprolopolis.
Okay, for the
No,
that's a
what?
different topic. I'm not talking about.
What are you talking about, you idiot?
So
Hey, no name calling.
Sorry, you go ship.
ship. The whole thing is. How about card games, though? I mean, do you bring card games in?
Yeah.
Sure, like No Questions is a good one, and The Crew.
Vegetable
games
stock?
that are that category.
Yes.
But do you go bigger?
I'll go bigger if I'm going to a relative's house or somewhere, and I know there's going to be a get-together. I will bring a smaller, but still bigger than a card game, party game. I'll bring something, hopefully not too heavy. Dixit is maybe a little too big, but something along that line.
Style.
Just One is a great one.
Okay.
So Clover also would work for that. Right.
You also can, when you travel, do you keep the games in the original box? You can take it out?
That's what I was wondering. I do the original box, but I've seen people put them into bags. Makes a lot more sense.
I keep the box. I keep them in the box. Yeah. It's just, I don't know what it is. I feel like it's going to come out and get played more. There's a higher chance of that if it's in the box. If I go, hey, all right, we're all here, we're gathered, a couple of uncles over there not really paying attention, people over here having a meal, and I pull out a bag and I go, who wants to play a game? It's less likely that people go, that looks fun. Yeah, Chex Mix the game. Let's do that.
Grandma's like, I got you, and she's filling it with turkey.
You know what I mean? So
I see that.
That's me. I think it helps get it to the table if that's the plan.
When I travel short distances, I always go to gaming. I always take more than double what I know I can actually play.
Yes.
I don't know why. I just do that, right? But when you travel farther, I can't afford that nonsense.
And I've found, and I think this is a commentary on, again, us in general, kind of, our eyes being bigger than our stomachs in the stuff we own, that is. Like if I travel and I take 14 games, I'll play 2.
Right.
But if I travel and I take 5 games, I play all 5, and I play multiple times. I don't know what it is. It's the limitation of choices. You're like, let's play that. And you play that, and you're like, what else are we going to do? We don't really have a lot of options. Let's just play that again. We already played it. It's fresh. Let's try that again. So taking fewer games, 3 games, 4 games, gets them played. Gets them played multiple times. You come back with good memories of that game or those 2 or 3 games. So I that's how I like to do it when I'm traveling. Take something I intend to play, forget the rest, make some good choices.
I guess it's also you can kind of cater to who you're visiting if they like certain games, or if you're going as a family, what we can all play. Because I would take bigger games if I knew the people I was traveling with would play those.
Yeah.
Now, normally they don't get played, but I'll want to play them if I don't have them, I always feel like.
That's true. If you know you're going where gamers are, but then if I know where I'm going where gamers are, they probably have the games, so I don't need to bring stuff.
Yeah, that's true too, but ours are painted.
All right, well, tell us what you do when you travel long distances. in the comments. That's it for today, folks. From Board Game Smorgasbord, I want to say thank you again to Board Game Bliss and again to our Kickstarter backers. We will be back in 4 hours. Top 10 games from 10 years ago.
What?
Until then, I'm Tom Vassell.
I'm Z Garcia.
And I'm Joey Evans.
Woot!
Woot.
Hey everybody, thanks for watching another video from the Dice Tower. Hey, you want to learn more about us, communicate with us? We have a Facebook group, we have a Discord channel, lots of different ways to get involved with the Dice Tower. You can find that in our Linktree link below. So just click that, it will take you and you can communicate with us on Facebook, join our Facebook groups. There's lots of cool things that you can find and become part of the Dice Tower. Thanks so much for watching. I'm Tom Vassell.